welcome. It is Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Once again, we are here for the Fight Underground Fight Council meeting. As we do every week, we'll be talking about all the things that are Fight Underground. So therefore, we are going to get things underway right off the bat. I put out a challenge to the members of the council who were here last week. As you all saw, we had a new council member drop last week. That was Lou Marconi, former NWA national champion and longtime friend and foe of myself. And the council was to go out and get a Lou Marconi promo video putting over their specific team. And I am here to tell you tonight that we indeed do have a winner of that challenge, and that winner was Robert Parker Williams. So,
oh yeah,
What?
yeah, woo!
What kind of crap? I'm calling Lou right now.
Beat you to it, my friend.
RPW, you got the drop. You dropped the dime on everybody else. So right now we are going to take a look at that promo and see exactly what Beef Stew has to say about Team RPW.
All right, thank you very much for everybody that reached out to me seeking my endorsement. I appreciate the fact that my influence was that meaningful to everybody, and everybody made a great case. I did make a decision on which team I'm going to endorse, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. This is nothing personal to anybody else and not taking away from anyone else. But there's one person is the reason why I'm giving this team the endorsement. And that person's name is Ronnie Nicole. So Team RPW, you got an endorsement from Lou Marconi. And Ronnie, I helped train you. We go way back for years now. I've seen you develop. I've seen you work hard, and I respect you for it. You're very welcome.
All right, Lou Marconi
Thank
with
you.
his words of endorsement for Team RPW. And I got to say, if there's a way to pick a team to endorse, I mean, hey, I've said it for weeks and months on end now. Ronnie Nicole, the Big Bang, she is definitely at the top of the charts. Lou trained her, and like I said, nobody knows Lou better than I, so I can see why he picked Team RPW. Congratulations, Mr. Williams. We will get to your prize next week.
I gotta wait a week?
Yeah, you gotta wait a week. Hey, I'm always shaking things up, brother.
Hey, that's not fair. I was
Oh,
ready.
hey. Well, see, now you got now you got a lot to look forward to come next week. So.
All right, that's fine. I can respect it.
All right. Well, we want to thank Lou Marconi for taking his time out of his busy schedule to join us with that endorsement tonight. So, once again, Team RPW endorsed by the newest council member, Lou Marconi. So we're going to move on. Last week we had some pretty spirited and heated discussion about the different teams and the different individuals who thinks who should be number one, this, that, and the other. And I understand that Stacy Hunter has something she wants to say tonight as far as pleading her case. Because unfortunately, some of our council members got a little long-winded last week. Some of the talent who joined us got a little long-winded. Some of our council members stomped off like little babies, but hey, we'll get to that later. So Stace, I'm going to give you the floor to plead your case, Kara.
Okay, so I have a legitimate question for everyone here. I want to know why everyone is kissing the Revs' ass to be the #1 top-ranked competitor in Fight Underground. If you take a look at it, loss prevention not only ran through Tad Jarvis, but he beat the exact same person that the Revs. So why shouldn't he be #1?
Oh, that's an excellent question. And again, I think you got a very strong case there. I mean, 2-0, to the Revs 1-0.
I have a stronger case. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear it, Bubba.
I'll try to be a little calmer.
Since you bothered to come on this week after last week.
Well, thank you. the case I have, Stacy, is he was voted by the council members as the number one guy of the company. And I said it very calmly.
Yeah,
very
and
clear.
I want to know why.
Because he got voted, Stacy. Do you know how votes work, Stacy? When you get a lot of votes, that's how it works. Plain and
You
simple.
know what? Look, you better watch who you're talking to, or I will make you walk off and cry again. Okay?
Oh, okay. A lot of drama here, and I'm gonna stick it out. Thank you. But more votes win, Stacy. I'm not gonna go anywhere.
We'll see.
Okay.
I voted for the Rev because he was the first winner. Everybody remembers their first. That's why I voted for the Rev.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's rewind a second. All right. Bob, I got no beef with what you're saying. Stacy, no beef. But let's be realistic here. If we're looking at numbers, who else is 2-0? My guy, Roheman. He went out there and smashed 2 jabrones real quick. Big bang, boom, done. He's 2-0. That means he's number one.
Yeah, but that's the point. He beat 2 jabrones. He didn't really beat anybody.
Okay, who did loss prevention beat?
He beat Tad Jarvis and he beat AJ Alexander, the same person that the Rev beat.
Okay.
Well, the Rev had one match so far. One
Okay,
match,
so
and
Tad-
he's done it all.
Tad had his social media stick up his ass that night. And as far as AJ, he was on a losing streak. So he was bound to lose anyways. I think I even called that. But he didn't just go out there and work him. I mean, LP, you said he's top dog, this, that, and the other. He didn't beat those guys real quick. Rohemus went out there with a game plan and smashed him.
I'd like to say something here if I can.
Dash, listen.
Please,
We've
Right.
already
No,
heard
no,
enough
no,
of
no,
your
no.
stuff.
Please,
No,
please don't.
I listen to
Dash,
everyone's
listen.
argument.
All right.
I have an argument of my own.
Promos all week long. We've heard enough of your crap. For some reason, you got to keep building your self-esteem on how you're going to beat me and how Resnick is. Just shut up, bud. Just shut.
No, I have a legitimate point. First of all, I'd like to plug my appearance tomorrow evening on the Indie Mayhem show on IndieWrestling.us. But aside from that,
Dash,
there's very clearly one winner from Area 1.
Maybe I should plug my podcast tomorrow, smart guy.
Dash.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I want to make the case for Arthur MacArthur. He is also 1-0, undefeated from Area 1. And as far as I'm concerned, he had the most impressive victory, beating a Ring of Honor superstar in the form of Flex Simmons. So as far as I'm concerned, he had the toughest competition, and he deserves to be number one. Absolutely.
Hold on. You're talking about Flex Simmons. He ain't a superstar in the Ring of Honor roster. Rev's got more clout than he does. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just
what I think
saying.
about you, Dash. Listen, you know what? I'm not even going to fight with you. The rest of the night, you want to talk? You're just going to get,
No,
horned
please
over,
don't.
buddy.
I'm
Don't
gonna get
let
what?
him do that. Don't let him do that, please. Please don't let him do that.
Dash.
Dean.
I'd rather listen to the horn than Dash.
We can sit here and
No
debate
one's-
everything we
I don't
want.
hear anyone
Rev's
making a
number
better-
one. Case closed.
I don't hear anyone making a better argument against my case. Arthur MacArthur clearly number one coming out of Area 1.
No, Dash. I'm sorry.
1-0. My guy's 2-0. That's
My
a better
guy's
He
argument.
didn't wrestle a
right
second
there.
match. Give him a second match and he'll win it.
My guy's the
Dash,
total
don't you have a
package, thank
promo to cut or something about how great Resnick is? Come on.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about wrestling tonight. We're here to talk about Arthur MacArthur.
My God.
No, we're not. We're not. We're here to talk about the number one wrestler in Fight Underground, and that's the Rev. Thank you.
Right,
Again.
we're talking about the number one wrestler, and that's Arthur
loss
MacArthur.
prevention.
Nope,
Oh,
I'm keeping my
Number
cool.
one in
See,
Fight
Paul, I'm
Underground
keeping my
is
cool.
Oh.
No,
loss prevention.
no, loss prevention is not. Not
Can
by
we
any
get a hold of
stretch.
Can we get a hold of Dustin
Yes,
and
he
find
is.
out how he eliminated me for like 4 weeks? Get rid of Dash for a little bit. Jesus.
All right, I'll tell you what. Yeah, you know what? This is not a presidential debate, and my name
I was
sure as hell
calm.
isn't Wallace. It's Atlas. So we're not going to get out of hand like we did last week here. I can tell you right now, the way Fight Underground has laid it out is the way Fight Underground has laid it out. And you know what? I will confirm right here and now that Area 2 is now set. It will be coming up in the next few weeks where we will be having Area 2. So here's what's going to happen, okay? we're going to get these wrestlers who have won their matches together in Area 2, and we're going to whittle it down to who is the best in Fight Underground. It's coming up just that simple, man. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and listen to you guys argue, complain, bitch, moan. I got a lot of things I got a lot of things I got to get to tonight here. We got some people that we need to talk to tonight. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do to make sure this doesn't get out of hand, council, you're dismissed for the week. I'm going to take over here and talk to these people.
What?
I'm bringing in, yeah, you guys are dismissed for the week.
You can't dismiss
Well,
us.
I have points to make and dash to bury. Listen, I can't be dismissed.
We
from this
are the
event.
show.
I need my prize.
I mean,
I
he's
need
been
to keep
dismissing
insulting Bubba and Dean.
Unreal.
I can't
This is
deal with
unreal.
that.
My time is very valuable, Paul. Thanks for throwing me off. Last week was my time. I
Hey,
did
you
it.
walked last week,
I
so
walked
I'm
last
throwing
week.
you off this week.
Oh,
I'm
Okay.
talking
There
here.
you go.
oh no, Dad.
Loud noisy.
Shut
You're with the rest of them.
Dash.
You're out.
Wow, this
So-
is crazy.
You can all cut your little feeds. Take off. We'll talk to you next week. This is my show. You gotta
Okay.
remember who's the fight director around here.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Paul,
Have-
I'm going to
have a
stay,
good
right,
night.
then?
Wrap it up.
Okay,
No,
well, you know what? Wait, before we leave, I'm just going to say this. I am making sure loss prevention has absolutely nothing to do with whatever mess you have planned tonight. Okay? I am taking him out. He is the #1 overall from Area 1. That is it. End of discussion. I
You are
withdraw
so
me from
wrong,
being part of
Stacy.
this tonight.
You've been wrong for years.
You're drinking too much Coca-Cola, Stace.
Ah,
It's
you
unreal
people are
tonight.
ridiculous.
Nope, I haven't even
You're
started. I'm the
going,
calmest.
Paul,
I'm
you
the
are
Shut
going
calmest.
up,
to
Bubba.
force
Oh,
Dash
Bubba.
to cut
Thank
like
you,
10
Stacy.
more promos.
Oh, he's not cutting them tonight on this show, that's for sure. Because again,
Wow.
I got stuff to do, and I'm not going to listen to you guys bicker all night.
I wasn't
So-
bickering at all tonight, Paul. I was actually very
You
calm.
suck, Paul.
I was just waiting for my prize.
Yeah, well, you'll get it next week.
Wow.
I'm not
that's a
leaving.
shame.
I have a
I got
lot
stuff
more
to
I
say.
wanted
I
to
got stuff
say
to say.
tonight.
I got stuff
I'm not
to say. I'm
shutting
not
off.
leaving.
I'm not shutting off this week. I have to hit the button right this time.
I'm not leaving.
I'm happy to
I
go
got
as
more
long as it means
blowhorn-
Dean doesn't
shut
get to
up.
talk.
I'm going to keep
Unreal.
blowing this horn on Dash. I'm not leaving it. There you go,
Oh,
Dash. Every time you talk, that's what you sound like.
Now we got dogs barking.
This is ridiculous. I don't know who thinks they can just go ahead and cut feeds or tell people to leave.
Wow. Wow. I think I'm off too. Hello? Hello? Call me.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe you're doing this to us.
Hey,
I expected from my little behavior last week. I expected it.
now you know there's a pecking order around.
You know
here.
what?
I
Fine.
guess.
Fine.
guess.
Whatever. I don't care. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. I'll go do something else productive. Thanks. I will. Thanks. Peace out, America.
All right. Now that we've got things a little more under control, I have with me tonight the Fight Underground correspondent, Miranda Quinn, and she is going to help me out here tonight as we talk to some of these winners from Area 1. We have with us tonight Arthur MacArthur, we have Brohemoth, and we have the Rev. Miranda, I'm going to bring you in here right now. We're going to set up the first set of questions here, and I think what we'll do is we're going to start off with the man who has been declared #1, and we're going to start off with the Rev. So Miranda, come on in, and let's get this rolling.
Hey, Paul. Happy to be here. For those of you who don't know or haven't been paying attention, shame on you. The Rev, our very first Fight Underground winner, is here with us. Rev?
Miranda, how are you? Looking beautiful as ever, as always.
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I think we're just down to talk business today.
We are indeed. So, as the first ever Fight Underground winner, I want to ask, who do you believe is at the top of the Alphas division?
So I'm assuming other than myself, who do I believe is at the top of the
Yeah.
Alphas
Who do you
division?
think is your biggest competition?
Personally, respectfully, I don't feel like anyone is a big competition. I feel like everyone has equal playing fields. It's all about how hungry they want it. And, at that particular time, everyone wants to talk hunger, but actions always speak louder than words. So at this point, with me currently based on the Fight Underground Council ranking me number one, my goal is to look at the playing field evenly. No one is an underdog, but looking at who is the hungriest. And like I said, it's up to the council to decide who my next opponent is going to be. Clearly, I can always, ask if, hey, I see something in this person. But at the end of the day, the decision is up to the council. So really, all my job is I sit and wait and I see who is the hungriest, who wants it the most. In my opinion, there's no such thing as a missing link or a weak link here in the Alpha Division. I feel like the Alpha Division is strong from beginning to end, no matter where your rank is. So the way that I measure it is their hunger, their desire. Everyone has that hunger and desire right now, so to the ring with me, because I said it before and I'll say it again. There's a target on my back, but each and every day I come into that ring, each and every month, each and every week, each and every night, I tap into something that many people aren't able to know until it's too late. So let the cards fall where they may.
Very well said. So with that being said, are you nervous at all going up against the likes of Brohemoth or LP, both of which have 2 wins, or even Arthur MacArthur? I mean, he's known as a tag team or duos division man, but he pulled out a win as well.
Yeah. Scared, no. Nervous, yes. You come on in, man. Scared, no. Nervous, yes. I feel like, when it comes to wrestling or just any sport in general, if you're not nervous in some way, shape, or form, then you're doing something wrong. There should always be a little bit of nervousness in there. But at the end of the day, the thing is, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I've been ready since I debuted in wrestling as a whole since 2011. That has not slowed down whatsoever. The hunger still builds. It doesn't matter where my contracts are, where my checks are coming from. The hunger has been here since it's been there since day one. So is there a little bit of nervousness, whether it's a Brohemoth, whether it's an LP, whether it's an Arthur MacArthur? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that does not cause me to slip up whatsoever. My mind is locked in. I have tunnel vision when I'm in that ring, and my only objective is to get a win. I did that with AJ Alexander, one of the best in this area, and I'll continue to do it no matter who they put in front of me.
Understandably so. I mean, as a Ring of Honor person yourself, you have some experience with other guys that are going to be a little bit more of a certain pedigree, if you will.
Yeah.
How can you speak to that with your training? Is there like a crowning achievement moment that you've had with wrestling? Who trained you? What's your background for those who don't know?
Yeah, so for those who don't know, I started wrestling. Drop my phone there, but
Okay, we lost the Rev there momentarily. See if we can get him back up, but he's having some technical difficulties. In the meantime, Miranda, why don't we move on to we're going to move on to Brohemoth here for a little bit until we get the Rev back on. Bro, as we just talked about with the rest of the council, is 2-0 in Fight Underground, having made short work of 2 opponents. So Miranda, I'm going to kick it right back over to you, and you can go ahead and talk to Bro.
Yeah, of course. Brohemoth, you, as Paul had said, have faced not 1, but 2 different competitors coming up victorious in both. I have to ask you personally, is this testing your patience? Some of the people that have seen the matches have compared it to you receiving scraps. Do you think that they're testing you, or they're waiting for that Gigabyte Grizzly that you claim to be to finally come out? Because we haven't seen that Gigabyte Grizzly aside from those 90, 120 seconds in the ring.
I didn't pick the fight. The council gave me them. So if the council gave me scraps, what am I to say? All I got to say is give me more. If you didn't get enough, give me more. I will gladly fill your plate.
Okay. Well, in regards to that and filling your plate, we've seen you around just about everywhere. up and down the East Coast. Is there any kind of crowning achievement you've had, or what's the training you've had, for those of you watching who may not know much about Brohemoth?
I trained in Erie, Pennsylvania under Omega Aaron Draven. It's been a climb from the bottom from the start. Like, I took every opportunity given to me and I ran with it. That's all I've ever wanted. That's all I'm ever going to do. I'm looking for a fight. That's why I'm here. I got 2 scraps. I want to prove I'm number 1. I'll gladly go through Arthur MacArthur, loss prevention, or Ron Hunt. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, speaking of the Rev Ron Hunt, you've had some contact with him before. While it may not have been an alphas division or singles, you've mentioned previously, or I've seen previously, where you've actually gone against Rev in tag teams. Does that give you any, perspective on how he is as a wrestler, or does that make you believe you have any tricks up your sleeve for going up against him potentially?
I've beaten him. I know mostly what to expect, but with being the tag team, he could have been hiding something to let his partner get his shine. So I'm still looking for a fight with Mr. Number 1, because that's a typo, and I plan on fixing it physically.
But what gives you that edge? I mean, you claim to be a grizzly in the ring. You claim to want a fight. I have to admit, I'm not seeing much fight in front of me. I mean, what makes everybody watching believe that you are number 1, that you're meant to fight for the Alpha Division Championship and be number 1?
I can't answer that because you've only seen what you've seen. You want to see the Grizzly? Put me in the ring with other winners. Don't put me in the ring with somebody trying to get in that didn't earn it. I was named number 1 before the first Area 1 even dropped. But I was the last one to get a fight. How does that make any sense?
Is there anybody that you'd like to face, or anybody that you see as your biggest competitor moving forward into Area 2? I mean, you said yourself you've beat Rev, you're willing to go up against Arthur MacArthur, but we need something more than just words to back that up.
I'm sick of using words. I've been waiting for a fight. You want to see it? I want it. I'll fight Rev. Hell, I'll fight Roden. Hell, I'll fight them both at once. I want a true challenge, just as bad as they do. And I'm sick of asking for it.
All right. Paul, do you know if we have Rev back with us so we can kind of ask his opinion on this? Or do you know if we have any of the other winners hanging around in the back?
Right now, it looks like we got the Rev back up. So, Rev, we're going to bring you on back in here and let Miranda get back at those questions before we had our technical difficulties there. So,
absolutely. I heard every word so far. You can continue on, Miranda. Sorry about that.
Well, would you like me to ask you about Brohemoth, or do you want to answer that previous question about your experience, so those watching may get to know you?
Let's go back to that, because we're gonna tie this all in. So for those of you that don't know, the name is the Rev Ron Hunt. Wrestling is my game. The Reverend is my name. 2011 is when I started off of the Wild Samoan, the legendary Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Center. Bro wants to talk about starting up. It's been a climb. When you start into a legendary business, we start into pro wrestling in general, bro, you understand that it's a climb. Every man and woman in this business knows that it's a climb. But it's even more of a climb when you come from guys that have legendary names. Because now all of a sudden, you are automatically expected to be at a certain level, even though you might not be maturely there yet. But yet, people look at you. They see the name. They see the accolades. They see the background. And they want you to start at that level. You train with legends, they project that you are going to be a legend. So therefore, you have to step into this business with a legendary mindset. Listen, we want to talk about clout. No more clout. You can show you right there. You put your Twitter game up, we put the Twitter game up. The man right there, The Rock. When we look back at it, the Rev has been nothing but doing legendary moves since day one. Don't let the suit fool you. This is why I came in a shirt right now, because I need people to understand this goes much more beyond the bling. This goes much more beyond the alligator shoes. This goes much more beyond a shirt and tie. When it comes down to it, I dress for success because I believe I'm success. Bro, I'm gonna let you know now, I didn't believe a single word that was coming out of your mouth. You were stuttering more than those two guys in the presidential debate. So if you want to step up, if you want to be that guy, then prove that you're that guy. Okay? If you're not believing your own hype, what makes someone want to give you the time of day? It's a shame when people got to believe in men and women more than they believe in themselves. I don't need people to believe in me. As long as I believe in myself, and that's where my mindset has been here in Fight Underground, Miranda. My mindset has been to step into this game and be the best. One of the questions that you ask is, okay, what separates you? Is there anything that you fear? You know, how is your training prepared you? You look at guys like Arthur MacArthur. He is his own person in general. He is his own style. He's a strong man. We see what this guy is capable of doing. We see the unorthodox talent that a guy like Arthur MacArthur has. But at the end of the day, I believe some of his personal assets are just curling that 10, 20, 50-pound dumbbell. That's all we got right now. When we look at guys like loss prevention, I believe his only athletic assets is probably running the 40 sprint yard line as he's working as some top flight security of some loss prevention market. When we look at guys like Bro Heenan, I mean, it speaks for itself. His only athletic ability is going to the buffet line and lifting up a fork, in my opinion. But when it comes down to the Rev is the type of guy that he backs up everything that he's saying. The proof is in the pudding. Outside of wrestling, I was an athletic beast. In wrestling, I'm an athletic beast. You Google me, everything's going to pop up right there. State records, world records, it's all right there. So at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I look at it like this. All of these accolades. Do I feel like I still reached the top? No. Am I eating with some top dogs? Yes. Everybody eats from my team at Shane Taylor Promotions. But at the end of the day, I'm always in the mindset that there was more to achieve. I want it all in this business. And if nobody else doesn't want it, that's fine, because it's mine. Bro, I don't know if you're still on here, but you talk about, listen, before the Fight Underground Council got together, I was number one. Okay, well, what happened when they voted, which was the rules and regulations before Area 1? I became number one. Can that be lost? Absolutely. That's what's different about Fight Underground. What'd you say?
Oh, it's gonna be lost because, like, you're talking a good game, but can your ass back up your words? Because I guarantee you, when you step in the ring with me, they will not.
And what makes you so confident of that, bro? Let me ask you. I'm sorry to take your shine. The reporter side of me is coming out. What makes you feel like it's going to be a different outcome, bro? I want to hear you.
I've explained it once. I'll say it again. When you win against AJ,
I'm sorry. I was sleeping the first time. So I took my Dayquil this time.
Okay. We saw it when you worked AJ. You hesitated. I don't hesitate. The second I smell blood in the water, I'm tearing you limb from limb, and I'm walking out of there with my hand raised. Plain and simple.
Miranda, you have anything for me or anyone else?
Yeah, actually, since you guys have brought up AJ, you know, he did mention something interesting. You kind of hesitated with him. Now, I understand that he was part of Jesus Club with you, so there is that kind of understanding that you guys have had traveling with each other and everything. But there's also another question that it raises. With AJ, you might have had an advantage in itself from knowing him. You know, Arthur MacArthur had to face somebody from ROH Dojo. He faced Flex Simmons, and Flex definitely has a little bit more experience than AJ. You faced someone you knew, so you knew the ins, the outs, everything. I mean, what puts you above Arthur in that respect?
That's a great question. I feel like when you look back at it, as I stated, Arthur is the type of person that is very unorthodox. But at the end of the day, I feel like there was no one that's like the savior of pro wrestling. When people buy tickets, for those of you that are watching at home right now, for those of you that have not been to a Fight Underground event because of where we are in this pandemic, and you have never seen the Rev Ron Hunt, anyone that has ever been at a live event, at a live match of the Rev Ron Hunt, they left with a new mindset from which they came. And it's something that cannot be duplicated by watching it on video. It's something that cannot be duplicated by watching it on DVD. It is something that can only be manifested by watching it in person at an event near you. So when it comes down to it, I feel like there is so much untapped potential in guys like an Arthur MacArthur. But at the end of the day, people fail to realize that yes, Flex has credibility to him. Flex is a tremendous friend of mine, a great friend of mine, a tremendous athlete. That's a product of the dojo. But people fail to realize when I get off of here, guess what? I'm more than likely jumping on a flight, handling some business. I'm more than likely going to an event, shucking and jiving with some A-list guys. I surround myself with sharks that win and love to eat. And when you surround yourself with top dogs, you become a top dog yourself. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm always learning. You always learn in this business, but it's from where you learn from. Is your learning tree full? Is your learning tree full of blossoms and full of growth? Or are you leeching on to a tree that's like a weeping willow that you get no life from? Look at the learning tree that you're surrounding yourself with. From me, I can say the garden of people that I'm learning from is well flourished. But can other people say that? Can other people say that? Or are they just living of the glory days? Like we see so long across the local area with guys talking about 5,000 views and they only got 400 people watching and shaking hands and funnel cakes and different lands like this. People got to snap out of their own imagination and look at the reality. My reality is I surround myself with winners. I'm on a team of winners with Team Bubba Brewer, with guys like a Zach Rain, with guys like a Lucio DeVere, with guys like a Alpha the Wild Simone. Unfortunately, management like a Dylan Dean. I'm still surrounding myself with winners. And Fight Underground has the pleasure of letting that be manifested here, especially when it comes to Area 2. So when it comes to guys like Arthur MacArthur, I believe in him. I feel like he would be a challenge, just like a loss prevention, just like a bro. But I'm well confident in myself to know I'm going to get the job done by any means necessary.
So that strategy of any means necessary, would you say that you lean a little bit more towards Dylan Dean's style, or are you going to follow the advice of Bubba Brewer? Because we've seen your team kind of start to fall apart over the past few weeks. So does that, add to any kind of game that might be in your head, or what's going on with that?
It's just like any family, and I'm sure, for some reason, we're not seeing that being publicized as much, maybe because Team Bubba Brewer has such a diverse group of guys with them. But, it has been no secret that I said, while I respect my team, while I plan to work with my team very actively, I do not 100%, I do not agree with the actions and with the wordage of Dylan Dean. I've made that very public. I will continue to try to work with my team because I believe through that, there is always adversity that you have to step through with life. But it's not about what happens to you. It's about how you recover from it. How many times you fall and get back up. So dissension with people such as Dylan Dean in the group, it happens. But at the end of the day, I lean toward my brother Bubba. I feel like there's a reason why he picked me while I was number one, and it was thanks to Bubba. And we have guys like Zach Rain and Lucio DeVere and Alpha the Wild and Alpha Jr. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I feel is right. In this business, I always told myself, if I have to sell myself out just to win, if I gotta sell myself out just to get a paycheck, if I gotta sell myself out just to get to the next level, this business isn't for me. So it's either the right way or the highway. That's how I look at it. And if that means that I got to push Dylan Dean to the side a little bit and make sure I stay on the right path and do what I feel is right, not only for myself, but for this company of Fight Underground, I'm going to absolutely stay on that right path. And all the Fight Council has my word for that.
Very well said. Now, with that being said, Paul, I believe we do have one more winner that's willing to speak with us tonight. Is that correct?
Yes, we do indeed. He is also 1-0, as we've already mentioned him a couple of times here tonight. He took on a Ring of Honor Dojo participant. We have with us Arthur MacArthur tonight. So Arthur, come on in here, and Miranda has some questions she would like to talk to you about. Come on in, Arthur.
Hello again, Fight Council. Hello, Almond. Be gone. All right, let's dish out these questions. I'm so long-winded after hearing all that from the Rev.
All right, well, just to start it off, for those of you who don't know that may be watching, Arthur, tell us a little bit about you. Is there anything special that happened with your training or any kind of crowning achievements you've had thus far?
Well, where do I begin? From my humble days as a soldier in the war to my days lifting heavy, inordinate weights in the circus, I joined the Absolute Intense Wrestling Academy under the tutelage of Dominic Guerini and one of the greatest wrestlers Pittsburgh has ever seen, Derek Direction. And throughout this training, I have attained such knowledge and passion for wrestling, and I have traveled all throughout the Midwest showcasing my fierce strength.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit about you. Mostly we've seen you in the tag team bulking season, but
Yes.
at Fight Underground's Area 1, we got to see you as a singles division person, an Alpha King. What's been your experience with that, facing Flex Simmons? Do you have any strategy moving forward?
Well, I will say I was caught off guard going into a singles match, as we were supposed to be a tag match that day as bulking season, but I adapted to the situation. And moving forward with this singles coming forward, I believe that I'm a multi-talented athlete and I can do it all. I could be a tag champ, a singles champ, a hardcore champ, a death match champ. I'm sure we don't have that here, but I could do that anywhere. Yes, essentially all that.
Well, are you looking to continue your path in the Alphas division, or were you going to focus more on the duos?
Well, that's a great question. For, I do love my glory. I might be a bit egotistical, but at the end of the day, I have a promise to keep to my dear partner in bulk, Chuck Stone. And I wish he could be there, Area 2, because, I know we want to have a competition to see who the true winner of Area 1 is. But maybe Chuck Stone can show off his solo prowess as well. And as a tag team, we gel very well. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. As I've stated, I am a multi-talented, multi-divisional athlete, and I can do it all. For now, I have something to prove to the council and the rest of the Fight Underground world. As you might know from that draft and these rankings, despite my great flawless victory, I was ranked so low, drafted so low. Why? Do you not believe in me? Do you think I'm just a goof, a clown? I don't think so. I believe in myself. Someone has to. Oh, okay. Okay, here we go. Anyways, as I was saying, I have a destiny to prove to all of you that I should have been the first pick. I should have been ranked number 1. I can't lose at this next taping. I can't do it.
Well, is there anyone that you're particularly nervous about going against? I mean, you have the Rev, who's mentioned you and saying it's all about the hunger, and you have Brohemoth, who's run through 2 opponents already. Is there anyone that you don't want to fight against, or are you hungry for it all?
I'm hungry for it all, my lady. Listen, Brohemoth has 2 victories, but guess what? He had 2 matches. How many matches have I had? 1. So, I mean, this is a little unfair. I saw the council earlier saying, oh, she's great. She's 2-0. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then you have the Rev going on and on and on, using a filibuster to talk through this council meeting, talking about how great his passion and drive is. You can talk about it or you can be about it. You wrestled AJ Alexander. Great. He's on my team. We're going to shape him up well. But maybe this reverend needs to find a new gospel to preach. Maybe he needs to fight me. Fight me, the strongest man in all the land. And he could sit there and say my charismatic abilities relate nothing more to curling a 10, 15-pound double. It's actually like a lot of weight, but I digress. I have a lot to prove. And the fact that the Rev Hunt was ranked number 1 of all you could have chosen, well, I see a top prize for Arthur MacArthur, and I have to prove why I truly am the strongest man in all the land. Continue.
So, is there anything that really puts you above the competition, though? Is there any special training you've had aside from Absolute Intense Wrestling training you? Is there anything in Arthur MacArthur's past aside from just curling those dumbbells?
Well, as I stated before, I'm a great war veteran. I've been to the trenches, fought all the battles, and we won't get into that. It's a horribly just awful subject. We'll get to that another day. But, you know, like I've said before, I've been on the road. I've traveled to nearly 6 and 7 states with my carload. And my dear partner, Chuck Stone, we've been all over. We are well-traveled, well-versed, well-experienced. And I've been to many seminars. Billy Kidman, Ultimo Dragon, the franchise Shane Douglas, Raven, just to name some off the top of my head. And I've learned a lot. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, another great legend. I picked his brain, learned everything he had to teach me. I wrote it all down, and I've never forgotten what I've learned those days. And throughout all of this experience, in just a year and a half of me in the squared circle, I must say, despite everything going on Fight Underground, I'd say I'm the most experienced. Oh, isn't that crazy? In only a year and a half, I have the same amount of matches as some people with 3 or 4 years in. So yes, I will say all of those past experiences kind of put me on a pedestal.
I mean, this is true. You've had a lot of matches, but most of them have been with your tag team partner, right?
That's true. It's about half and half. But either way, I'm still there. I mean, you got to think about tag team wrestling. I can lose for my partner losing. Just, you know, getting pinned, submitted, whatever. And newsflash, we don't lose very often. We're very good. We just had a successful title reign up in Michigan. And we're about to get those belts back, but we're not talking about that today. We're talking about Fight Underground and all the glory that we have to offer. But until I prove to all of you that I'm not a fluke, I'm not a joke, I'm not a comedic clown, I won't leave the singles division. No, sir. No, ma'am.
All right. Well, with that being said, you know, I am inclined to agree that with facing Flex Simmons in your first bout, especially being a tag team wrestler, you know, you were not, a lot of people didn't pick you to win. So,
No, they didn't.
no. So how is that strategy changing? I mean, you had that one win. You mentioned that it's not going to be a fluke, but how are you going to continue that? I mean, through this entire conversation, you've mentioned your tag team partner a lot. It almost sounds like you're very dependent on him. How can you keep that up in Area 2?
Dependent on my partner. No. Listen, I'm not dependent on my partner. I am a solo act in the grand scheme of things. Sure, I have a tag team partner. He's my dear partner in bulk, and he's one of my best friends in this business. But in the grand scheme of things, I could go on. I could go on with my merry way and wrestle on my own. What was that first part of your question? I'm sorry, I'm trailing off. You kind of insulted me with that thing about me depending on Chuck.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. I was just asking how your strategy is in regards to a singles or Alpha King division wrestler rather than a tag team wrestler.
Right. So to put it in the grand scheme of things, in a tag match, I like to use my partner Chuck Stone as a weapon. He's a big glob of mass, and I use that to my advantage, like a weapon of mass destruction. And I smother people, we crush people, we tenderize people. But without Chuck, It's all on me. It's all on my inordinate strength. And my strategy moving forward is to focus on the limbs and the weak points of every human being. For only a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Let's say I wrestle the Rev or the Brohemoth and they have a weak arm. I should attack the arm. Maybe I should use my strength to my advantage. I kind of am, the strongest man in all the land, so maybe I won't be such a flipper, not such a submission specialist. I'll just pound these fools. And my strategy going forward doesn't involve matches as well. It involves training. I'm working very hard to focus on leaning up. I've lost so much body fat over the past 4 weeks through my special training, and I'm going to look the part as well as be the part. That's it.
Well, that sounds great. Paul, do you have anything else to add or any questions for our winners?
Well, like I said earlier on tonight, this is how we're setting up Area 2. We want to see who is, out of all these winners, the true best. We've had some great points made here tonight by the Rev Ron Hunt, as well as Arthur MacArthur. Bro, kind of leading up the rear of the pack there with some of his comments. I got to reiterate something you said earlier with you, bro. I mean, you're sitting here and I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing the fight. I mean, was it just a fluke? Yeah, these guys, one thing for tiebreakers is strength of schedule. And let's face it, dude, right now, if you go by strength of schedule, you had 2 scrubs. So what is it that's going to put you over the top now that you're going to have to face real competition? You're going to have to face other people who have won. I mean, I want to hear it. I want to see, where's the passion, bro?
It will always be the same, whether it was those jabrones or whether it's these two. It's MMD 123. The number 1 spot is mine, whether you like it or not.
I don't like it at all.
All right. Well, I guess time is all that's going to tell as far as what's going to happen with our winners. And let's not forget, we also have a couple other winners who we haven't talked to here tonight. And again, as I've stated before I dismiss the rest of the council, Area 2, we're going to delve into this a little bit further. We're going to get down to the real bones of all of this because everyone had their chance in Area 1 and everybody was kind of amped just coming off the pandemic. It was the first time for a lot of guys in the ring, but I know a lot of you are out there now traveling once again. You're having matches. You've knocked that ring rust off. So I think that these next set of matches coming up in Area 2, we're definitely expecting the bar to be raised as far as that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap this up here for tonight. I would like to thank the fighters for joining me tonight, Arthur MacArthur, Rev Ron Hunt, as well as Brohemoth. Miranda Quinn, I would like to thank you for coming on and spending time tonight with us. Certainly a lot easier to talk to than some of our council members, that's for sure. So we will be back next week with our council meeting Thursday night at 8 o'clock, as we always are. So until that time, keep following us on all our social media platforms and keep up to date on exactly everything that's going on Fight Underground. We'll see you next week.